Yo, what's going on, beautiful people? We are back with another week. I believe this is week 6 for boys. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the No Name Podcast. As you already know, that is never a joke. We really don't have a name. We see that we got viewers out there. Appreciate y'all getting in the comments. Y'all keep messing with us. As you know, I'm gonna kick it off. You know, my mama named me Edward after my daddy. Great man. So make sure you following at Emax Stacks for all your up-to-date sports coverage, whether that's NFL, whether that's high school, whether that's college. I'm gonna give it all to you. And no, it's not just about me. I got my brothers with me. And for all the day one fans, if you notice, we always start this podcast off with the NBA and with the culture. The NBA is over. And starting the podcast off with the culture. But it's normally only 4 of us that kicks off this podcast, right? We got Coach Johnson in this hoe with us to kick off the culture segment. We're gonna show him a little bit of grace on the culture segment because we all me, Sedacious, Isaac, Darnell, we all from Houston. Coach Johnson has had variations of walks of life, so it'll be interesting to get his take on the culture segment and the culture we're talking about. But none other, Coach Johnson, introduce yourself to the people for the culture segment if you really need to at this point.
What's happening, everybody? It's Coach Johnson, Christian here. I'm excited now to be involved in the culture segment of the podcast. Usually only get involved with the football stuff, but on the real, I'm excited to see what we get into. We get into some hip hop culture, some things going on there. We start talking about some entrepreneurship that's going on inside the Black community. So I'm excited to see what we got going on in the culture.
Yeah, man, it's just like my boy E said, my mama named me Isaac. It's not after a great man. I am that great man, But, it's your boy Shine Hard is on Instagram, Twitter, intellectual, hood, charismatic excellence at its finest, man. Let's get it. Yeah. Yes, Lord.
You got Darnell, man, a.k.a. Black Peace and everything that's on Xbox, that's on Twitter, you name it. It's up on Facebook, that's Black Peace 4L. Giving you that optimistic view on everything. I got my Doc Rivers voice on, but I'm gonna power through this thing.
Hey, God, we're fine. If you do that, we're fine. If you make it, we're fine.
It's your boy Sedacious, a.k.a. T-Tata, a.k.a. Lada Rapper, the loudest nigga you know. I'm all about the love, the humble shit, all that good shit. But it's good to have Christian here, and I just wanted to say this. If you've been viewing or if you've been following us, I just want to say from all of us, I'm pretty sure I speak for all of us when I say we really appreciate you and keep rocking with us. It only gets better. And we'll take it away.
Yo, so real quick, a round of applause for all of us. Officially caught up with editing and posting all our stuff on YouTube. So for y'all watching, make sure y'all look at the links below and go click on everything. So real quick, this is what I noticed in editing all of our videos after the podcast. When stuff is like really getting hot or conversations like really getting tense, like Sedacious like go-to move is like he start yanking on his collar like this, like whew. So if you see Sedacious doing that, just know it just got real. But yo, man, so to kick it off with the culture, there's now some audio that has just leaked in regards to the Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion situation. As y'all know, Tory finally got indicted and is facing up to over 20 plus years for the alleged shooting of Megan Thee Stallion with her getting shot in the foot or whatever. So the audio, I'm not gonna play the audio. I'm gonna just read. I'm gonna read the quote that came out, which is from the sources out there on the internet. Say this is from Tory Lanez's ex-bodyguard, or maybe his bodyguard at the time of the situation. And so this is Tory Lanez's bodyguard saying how the situation occurred. Quote, Tory and Meg get to arguing. Kylie's outside at the pool still. Tory and the girl in the car start arguing. Meg walked out because she finds out such and such. Tory been messing around with both of the women in the car. You know how that goes already. Tory got in trouble. He continued. Meg hops out the car, Tory and the girl fighting over the gun. The gun accidentally goes off in the midst of them fighting for it, and the gun shoots and the bullet accidentally hits near Megan. That's why it didn't hit any tendons, because it grazed her. It didn't actually hit her. She's lying like it hit her. And so real quick, one thing I forgot to plug in, now, I know I just started reading a quote, but the gun actually is the gun of the bodyguard who said he left the gun in the car as he walked out to do whatever he was doing. And in the process, that's when Tory and said girl of Megan Thee Stallion friend or someone that was in the car with Tory and Megan, they started fighting over the gun that the bodyguard left in the car, and that's when one thing led to another. I'm gonna kick it to Isaac to start us off, like with this new footage or this new audio coming out, like to you, what does this mean? Does this like, okay, Tory, you may not be guilty? Does it like not mean or prove anything to you, or is it like you still maybe despised how the situation happened and how you view Tory Lanez right now?
Before I answer that, I'm gonna go ahead and give a disclaimer. I am not by any stretch a judge. I am not trying to play court appellate or Supreme Court judge. This is not my job to claim innocence or guilty on any of these black kings and queens. So with that being said, I'm not gonna lie, man, with the more things get released and the more facts that come out about the situation, it does seem as though Tory may, and emphasis on the may, he may have been scapegoated. For what reason, I'm not too sure. I'm not absolving him if he did, do the alleged crime. But it is interesting to point out that, an independent party that was at the scene does kind of, in a sense, kind of back up what Tory was kind of iterating, that he didn't let off the alleged shots that grazed or, hit Meg Thee Stallion. So the reason why her and her team would come out with the full-fledged Tory smear, basically a few weeks after, everything came out, I'm not too sure the reasoning behind it. But hopefully, justice does get served. Like I said, I do believe in protecting our black queens. So if bro did it, fuck him times 100. Yes, we gonna stand on that. We protecting ours. She from Houston, I'm from Houston. I'm in the H. We gonna stand on that. But at the same time, I don't want another black man to be falsely accused, even if it be at the hands of another black woman. Nobody should be falsely accused, or basically, everybody's innocent till proven guilty. So it's just an interesting fact that came out. I leave the opinions up to everybody else, so it'll only get interesting from here on out.
And I'm gonna back him up on that. I kind of feel neutral in the situation. Is all. That's just new information, according to me. I feel like Tory shouldn't have let the people play that. That was the perfect time for artists to step up for themselves, because innocence is innocence. People understand that shit happens. Shit fucking, especially when you drink. It gives you all the reason to be a little more stupid. So for the whole push and shove, I did, I never understood. So that's how I look at it. I look at it like, I believe the information to a certain extent, but I'm not choosing a side quite yet. So I'm gonna throw that.
Wait, Isaac, were you saying that Darnell sounds like Doc Rivers?
That's exactly what we have been saying.
Oh, okay.
I even intro myself as that, by the way.
I missed that. That whole thing,
man,
bro.
I don't know where you were. But we're there.
That's so funny.
Hey, Isaac should have did his whole take in the Doc Rivers voice.
I support Megan. Hey man, shout out to Doc Rivers.
I got a question.
New coach of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Hey, quick question. Is there from what you read, Edward, is there any other are they finding another suspect?
No, they're not looking for another suspect. I'm not sure how this information is or may not be used in court. So like we said, right now Tory Lanez is being charged with the shooting of Megan and was ordered to stay 100 yards away from her, so he got a restraining order. And if he is convicted of this, he faces up to 22 years and 8 months in prison. And I want to say this audio came out like during the weekend or whatever the case may be. So we don't have any further details on if anyone else will be brought in or involved with this trial. Or
Right. So far, Isaac hit that shit on the head that if he did the shit, let him do his time because that's just what that is. And if
Basically,
what I'm saying, he didn't, then we don't want that man to be not able to provide for his people because of something he really didn't do.
I totally agree too.
You gotta wait it out in court, man. Wait it out.
For me,
like my boy said, we are not judges. We just, that's just the facts of life right there.
It's just the facts, man.
When you think about how all this is like coming together, so like I'm gonna just like try to read it carefully again for the people that's listening and may not have like come across the audio yet. According to the brief recording, the bodyguard, and I'm also reading this from a Hot 97.9, so y'all can't sue us if this information is invalid for one reason or another. But according to the brief recording, the bodyguard stated that he left his gun in the car and that Tory Lanez and the other woman in the car began fighting over the gun when it accidentally went off and hit the Houston rapper in her feet. He also explained the two were arguing before the shooting took place and the bullet only grazed her being Megan, and accused her of lying. So
I got a question. Who is this, a particular bodyguard or is this like
this was Tory's bodyguard?
This is Tory Lanez's bodyguard.
And he left his gun in the car. So,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I can see why that would be blamed on Tory Lanez if he indeed is in the tussle with the gun, and then it just happens to graze Megan. I mean,
but like
point,
where I'm coming from with this, what I'm trying to like think about is like, I don't like, he got out the car, he left his gun in the car, but they also said Megan Thee Stallion had already left the car and Tory was arguing with some girl in the car. So like, I'm trying to like follow these steps carefully. If Megan is out the car and the gun is left in the car and Tory is fighting over the gun with a girl, or they eventually had like, did that arguing or tussling over the gun eventually transfer out of the car to shoot or to graze
I ain't gonna
Megan?
lie, I think you might want to slow down because I believe the line that you read, it stated that Megan and her ex-best friend began to argue inside of the car and were arguing prior to them getting in the car. You see what I'm saying? So I believe the arguing, I'm guessing from what that sounded like, so if they were at the pool, they probably had started the argument at, near, or by the pool, right? And it just kind of transitioned into the vehicle, which then, the bodyguard said he left his tool in the car. And, if the argument, how arguments they getting heated. I don't even see how y'all get in the truck and then y'all in a closed space. It's bound to be an explosion somehow. So
exactly.
Somebody mad, y'all drunk, you see a gun in there, you know how females, and again, I'm just speculating. It's all speculation at this conjunction.
Yeah,
this taking another conversation. But I'm assuming, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, two drunk females just found out that both y'all got fucked on by a dude that y'all both like / love, whatever. That's y'all business. You gonna flip the switch. Our women, they're emotional creatures. That's how they design.
No, it's like Tory and Meg get to arguing, and then it goes from her leaving the car and then him arguing with the other girl.
Hey, man.
I don't know, man.
Hey, what is he being charged with? What is he being charged with?
Deadly assault, I believe.
I'm not going to say because I don't know factually. It doesn't say in this article. It just said he's being charged with the alleged shooting of Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, I guess aggravated assault.
I don't know if it's
like I was saying earlier. What I understand is, what is the smear why is there a smear campaign, basically? Why is there he said, she said? Because that's the truth. That's just the fucking truth, dog. Like, It happens that way sometimes. People get fucked up, they do stupid shit, and then an accident happens. What I don't understand is why are they saying, you know, oh no, she didn't get shot. No, she didn't. No, she got shot, and that dude accidentally shot her. Nobody's gonna be mad. I am not gonna be mad if Tory was shooting this girl on accident. No, I'm not. Accidents happen. People get fucked up. I've seen shit in my time, and it's like it happens. There is no frowned upon. It's like, no, she got wild. Somebody got hurt. Life lesson learned.
To back Darnell up to a certain degree, because I know hearing that for some people it's like, what the fuck? But it's just like the wording in the media, bro. Like, you have to be careful, like, how you let the media course your perspective on how you view certain things. Like, Tory Lanez shoots Megan Thee Stallion. That's all headlines have been saying. It didn't say accidentally shot Megan Thee Stallion. It didn't say gun accidentally went off and hit Megan Thee Stallion. Like, that sounds a lot less intense than Tory Lanez shoots Megan Thee Stallion. Like, that's all people been running with. That's
clickbait, man. They need a following to go and click those headlines. They need the traffic just like any other media outlet. So, you know, I don't blame them for the wording of the headlines because that's the very essence of media. No disrespect to my boy E-Max Stats and his beautiful media company, but you know, media they need the views, they need the viewership, and they need those kind of clickbait titles to kind of get people lured in. So, I mean, you can't be mad at the media for kind of posing it in a certain light. I mean, that's what they do.
I think we can be mad at the media. I think we can be mad at the media, especially, you know, we got 5 black men on this thing. And, you know, America already has a view of black men. And when someone says that, hey, a black man shot at a woman, right, or shot at anyone, versus a gun accidentally goes off and a bullet hits somebody, that's 2 different things. It is illegal to shoot someone. I'm just saying, it's illegal to shoot someone, especially if you're not out of self-defense. And there's time to be served there. It is not illegal for a gun to go off accidentally, and the bullet hits somebody, right? So that's 2 different things. So, you know, I understand the media has you know, they got to get clicks and all that, but I mean, you know, this is not a time for, hey, let's paint a picture of a black man real quick and get more clicks on it. I think,
because how you are portrayed in the media definitely has impact on how you are judged in a courtroom.
Can I interject? Can I ask a question? Whose fault is it that Tory Lanez was in that position to be tussling with that gun, for the gun to go off and for things to transpire like that?
That's just whose fault is that? I don't believe he was the one tussling with the gun. From what I read, it was the friend and her that were tussling with the gun.
So that means Tory Lanez would be all the way out of the situation. And so when it all comes to light, everything that happens, then he should be a free man and just go.
Well, we don't know, but I mean, that's just it. I mean, from what has come out so far, one could maybe perceive it that way, but I don't even really want to make an accurate depiction of what I believe happened truly until everything comes out. But from what has come out thus far, one could make an argument that maybe Tory Lanez didn't do it because, I mean, if you come out with a full-length feature motion album basically saying on every fucking song in so many words that you didn't do it, and then they catch you in a strip club a few weekends later, you know what I'm saying? You living your life like, you know, normal, like nothing happened. I mean, one could suggest that, damn, either you really fucking stupid or maybe you really actually just didn't do it.
Moving on from Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, going to get into some more coaching before we cross over into football. Darnell, I'm going to keep waiting to get talk. So I sent Darnell a post because he's heavy into the culture with his own page in terms of Sauce Walka posting like a pretty sentimental post about him kicking lean and him kind of just showing a picture, kind of like, I guess, I don't know how much weight he lost, if he lost any weight or whatever, but just, I know specifically what I read in the comments that like he was in front of his daughter near death or in that to that extent, just based off, you know, like I'm assuming like an overdose on lean, or maybe not even
he had a seizure.
A seizure. And as we know, Lil Wayne has encountered this before.
Rick Ross.
I don't know if Rick Ross's was due to heavy codeine intake. It was.
Yes, codeine and weed combined with the unhealthy obesity, which he is getting under control. He been eating his pears, bro looks solid. Shout out to Rose.
Yeah, man.
Every time I think about Rick Ross, I'm on Wingstop.
She thinking Philippe. I'm thinking Wingstop.
Oh, but nah, Darnell, for you, I know you take it. You follow rappers pretty closely. How did you feel about when you seen him making that post and kind of just to a certain degree saying I watched the video of him earlier saying that like back in like this is like 2018 and him just talking about the lean and like how to go about using it appropriately if you're gonna use it. But like, how do you feel about him saying he kind of like putting the cup down? Do you think this is just like he just taking a break, or how do you feel about it?
It's liquid heroin, plain and simple, bro. It's liquid heroin, and at the end of the day, it's H-Town all day, but it does have its consequences. You know, I believe it is like a Houston party favorite to a certain extent. Like, you come to Houston, you sip lean, you've been initiated to a certain extent, and it has its certain boundaries to where you can get consumed very heavily, and it's not so easy to kick. Lil Wayne will tell you in a heartbeat. He said he has various verses where he say he kicked the cup, and then a whole album later he's back on it. And it's not because he wants to, because it's liquid heroin. It's one of the things like, yeah.
Oh no, I never sipped syrup before, but man, Sedacious, I'd be damned if that me and my drink went the song in your Ford Focus back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody had their moments.
Yeah.
In the studio.
Absolutely. But just to wrap it up real quick though, but at a certain point, he had to realize like there are consequences that come with it. And he's, like you said, he's mentioned like you need to stop. But at the end of the day, it is a very addictive drug. You know, and people smoke it, some people sip it, and people get more and more dosage because of their tolerance. And at the end of the day, man,
I'm gonna go ahead and stop it for the audience sake. There's no physical, tangible, physiological possible way that you can actually smoke lean.
Well,
unless I would say unless you dab a little bit on your backwood or your rolling medium of choice. That would be the only applicable way that you can ingest it. But for a little so familiar with the drug, real lean is an expensive man's drug, right? Just like they say like cocaine is a rich white man drug, was quite the opposite for, I would believe, the urban community. I won't say the black community, but for the urban hip hop community, especially down here in Texas, more specifically Houston, who pioneered it. Lean is a rich man's drug, and especially back then, man. And I don't know if y'all know about street prices right now on lean, man, for a line of walk hard. And when I say a line, that means 1 liquid ounce. So if you were ever to get a medicine bottle and you see the little tabs on the side, one of those lines up to it is 1 liquid ounce. One of those right now on the street is going between $200 and $300 per liquid ounce for purple. So it's a rich man's habit. So everybody don't really have the means to do it, but people who do, is very easily to get consumed.
G Herbo said he spent $50,000 on lean along with one period in his life.
In the same breath, they'll tell you it's killing.
$50,000 a year, man. That's
in the same breath, they'll tell you it's killing me quick.
If you go and listen to, it's somewhere on there, and if you go listen to Webby talk about Lane, Webby was kind of brought up under the arms of Pimp C. Pimp C was on Lane, you know what I'm saying? And so Webby was just talking about, for him, like, he put it on his weed or whatever, like dipping it or whatever the case may be, or on his cigarette. So he even poured it on his pancakes. Like, he was like that addicted to it or whatever. So if you ain't got the money, Just so you know.
It's a double, bro.
It's
a double, bro. Let's think about it. It's like literally like, and I'm not necessarily talking down
hey,
on
man,
Vic
don't go broke like Jock. You might have to play with that dog like Vic.
But at the end of the day, just like Saul said,
real.
but just like Saul said though, it's killing him. It's putting him at a point where he's looking at his daughter in his eyes before he passed away almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not talking down in a certain sense of it's, you know, bad, but it's just like any other drug. It brings pleasure, but at the same time, though, it brings us whatever.
What you guys
got a question. Coach Johnson, do you know any of what the fuck we talking about?
Oh no, he muted his thing. He back.
My bad. My dad was calling.
Because it was a spell. You was like, the fuck are these niggas talking about?
Yeah.
Hey guys, hey, we're there. We're there.
I am not. I don't have proficient knowledge of the syrup or lean.
You can call it cough. Yeah. It's like cough syrup. You call it cough syrup.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I know. I did listen to Lil Wayne back in the day, so I know he talked about it. But I didn't know anything. I have yet to partake in any lines of that sort. Yeah. So no, I don't know much. I don't know Mr. Sauce.
Hey man, Coach say he about X's and O's. He ain't pouring 4's.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I watch too much film, man. I watch too much film.
Hey, that's the title right there. Isaac. X's and O's, not 4's. Not pouring 4's.
Not pouring 4's.
I think it's Mr. Walka.
Hey, but nah, man. So look, that wraps up the coaching segment. Coach Johnson did pretty damn good to rock out with the coaching segment. So baby, we are going on the 30-minute mark, and we have football to talk about, obviously. So fellas, we are doing damn good with time. So let's keep building on this momentum.
Football segment is up next.
We don't even have to cut it off and bring Christian in because he already here. Christian,
baby.
Just rocking with that football segment, man.
I'm already here. Hey, here we go, man. Week 6 is in the book. It's in the books. We are starting to see now what we have for the season, right? We have a lot of teams that are looking good. Some teams are looking awful. Right, but today we're going to talk about all the teams that are either, or a few teams that are either at 500 or above. Right, so means that they have either as many wins as they do losses, or more wins than they do losses. And we're going to figure out who are the contenders and who are the pretenders. Right, so you might have a team
start off.
You gonna start off? There you go. So I just want to set up real quick. So you might have a team that has a good record, but we all know that record is a little fluffy, right? It's got more fluff in there, more fluff wins that once you play a full 16, they ain't gonna be probably not gonna be in the playoffs. Then you have some contenders. Hey, look, their record looking good, and they are good. So we're gonna get to it. And when you say you want to start it off, man, start us off, bro. Start us off. Who you got? Who's your? You want to give us the good news first or the bad news?
I'm gonna go last.
Yeah, I just want to go ahead and get to the shits, man.
Who's your pretender?
My pretender, bro. I'm gonna keep it, hey, man. Y'all may not like me, but it's all good. I'm gonna still live forever. My pretender is the Baltimore Ravens. This is a team that is going into a bye week. What you say, Sedation?
I'll go there with you.
Okay, I got somebody on board. Baltimore Ravens, they're 5-1 right now. The only loss they have is to the Chiefs. Now, why am I calling the Baltimore Ravens? Why am I calling the Baltimore Ravens pretenders? I have always, y'all been hearing me say this, and I just strongly believe that. I feel like Lamar Jackson is the Greek freak in the NBA. I feel like he looks beautiful. He looks marvelous in the regular season. Teams are hurt. teams are. I looked at their schedule. Their schedule is like not that tough to me. I mean, but that's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like this 5-1 record. So they beat the Browns 38-6. They beat the Texans 33-16. Got ready to play the Chiefs. They lost 20-34. Beat the Redskins 31-17. Bengals 27-3. And then they just beat the Eagles 30-28. Now, stats or whatever. We can all dress stats up to like look and be what we want them to be. Christian, bro, how you've been feeling about Deshaun Watson, bro? I feel like that about Lamar, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Well, I'm not sorry. That's just how I feel. And I watched.
Wait. What do you mean? Are you saying he's not tier 1? He's good, but he's not tier 1. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, bro. I'll just
okay.
I'll say he's not tier 1, and what I mean by when I say how you feel about Deshaun is like, yo, you're gonna see these electrifying plays, these 3 or 4 electrifying plays, and you'll think that's the whole entire game, and it's just like,
I got you.
Huh? So I watched him play against the Eagles. I was watching the film. We was on the phone because we kicked each other out. NBA Game Pass. We need that sponsorship. Down the road, promo code, whatever we gonna call it. we
what you call it? The promo code.
Yeah, we speaking that into existence. But
what you call it?
I do not think the Baltimore Ravens do a great job at scheming him, making the game easy for him to make great passes. The best they can do with scheming Lamar Jackson to his strengths is trying to give him options to try to run the scramble, fake handoff, he dive and go. That's their only best rendition of trying to scheme him to be in a great position to win a game. Now, some of the passes he can pass the ball. I'm not saying he's not a great thrower. Like earlier in the season, I do remember you, Christian, specifically like making it seem like, yo, that like he got wrong. This is what I'm judging him off of for everybody out there. Bro, they 5-1. You ain't been watching. No, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have not watched him. I watched him when he played the Texans. Watched him when he played the Chiefs. I watched him when he just played the Eagles. What I'm judging him off of from my personal just eye test or whatever is how he just played against the Eagles and how he played against the Chiefs this in the beginning of the season. When if you go back and you look at the film, bro, like there's nothing spectacular about him throwing the ball down the field. Like his best plays, his best yardage, his best moments come from when he's scrambling. And when he's been in those positions of the playoffs, bro, we're just gonna sit them spies right there, bro. Like, we're not scared of you throwing the ball. We're more scared about you running. And so for that reason, I feel like they can probably have great success throughout this year, but when it matters the most, when you really got to play a team or you're in the playoffs and the game slowdowns and teams really, really, really planning for you and they got your whole scheme down together, you're going to be limited. You're going to be limited. And limited means you're not going to be able to – they're going to limit you just enough to stop you from winning. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson ain't going to have 2 rushing touchdowns or 1 passing touchdown. I'm just saying a team is going to find a way to contain Lamar Jackson enough to not allow the Ravens to get further than the division round or get to the AFC Championship. That's my personal belief, and that's why I consider the Baltimore Ravens pretenders.
Got you. I think so I wouldn't necessarily – I don't think you're necessarily that far off on Lamar. I think there's a healthy debate to go on how elite he is. But, I mean, to say that there's nothing special about what he does as far as throwing the ball, I think that's a far stretch. But also, too, I think you're judging the Baltimore Ravens passing offense as if it is Lamar Jackson only, right?
No, but that's what I meant when I said I don't feel like they do a good job at scheming him to throw the ball.
I mean, I think
I'm gonna actually.
I think the scheme is fine. Yeah. I think the scheme is fine. I think your best receiver is a tight end.
True.
Your second best receiver, your second best receiver is
Hollywood.
5'9", right? 5'9", $160, right?
Yeah.
He's about my size, okay? And then after that, you got a rookie who's fast, who don't know how to play the position yet. And
Man,
then,
shout out to Duvernay, man. 4'3".
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying, as a pure receiver, though, right? He's not, scaring anybody. It's just like, hey, let's not let him run deep on us.
It's a kind of,
they don't use him like that too either. Go ahead.
To kind of beat Christian to the finish line of what I believe he may be trying to say. Lamar Jackson, I'm going to compare the talent that he has around him almost to the receiving core that of maybe, and this might be a stretch, but hear me out for the sake of the comparison, that of the Green Bay Packers. And I'll say this, that level of talent that you would say that receiving corps has as a unit is not maybe up to par as what Lamar is as a pure and natural athlete, just as a football player. One could agree that they have similar situations, although being that Aaron Rodgers, arguably the most talented thrower of the football that we've seen, since Patrick Mahomes have just recently gotten the league 3 years ago. But he doesn't really have that talent on the outside like that, to really just make him a prominent or proficient passer. And I don't believe he's as talented as an Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes as far as arm talent is concerned to lift a team just off of his arm talent alone. So I believe how their team is built, the recipe for them winning and continuing that sustained success is predicated off we need to get out on your ass quick and in a hurry in the first quarter and establish their run game.
And that's how they
whole
play.
team
That's
is
the
set up
scheme.
completely off.
That's
the
play.
scheme. It's the scheme.
And just real quick, it's the scheme, and because they understand, the whole organization, when they drafted him, they said, hey, look, listen, there is something that this man does that no one else in the league can do. His running ability and the threat of him throwing is unlike anything that we have seen since Michael Vick. And so they said, how can we maximize that? And so they start with that first. Because they start with that first, of course, the passing game is not going to look like what we see from Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, even though they are probably better throwers of the football than Lamar Jackson is. What's going on in the mind of Greg Roman, John Harbaugh, and the rest of the Ravens organization is not built around the throwing ability or the passing game of the Ravens, right? They have a three-headed monster in the backfield for a reason, or a four-headed monster in the backfield for a reason, right? They invested in tight ends for a reason, right? They're probably going to bring in a third tight end before the trade deadline for a reason, right? They have a particular framework in their mind. So I think with that they can still pass well, but to pass well from coming from behind, it's going to be hard, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. Now to call them a pretender, I don't know about that. I still think that they can make it to the playoffs. They're the most.
No, I'm not saying they. The reason I call them a pretender is because, and me and Darnell argue about this in NBA in terms of what contender is. They're like pretend. I'm calling them a pretender because people give off this esteem. They're like, yo, they can get to the Super Bowl, or they're going to get to the Super Bowl. Judging them on getting to the Super Bowl standard. And after I finish this, let's stay true to what we talked about and just move on to the next pretender team. The reason I judge them because I believe that's the bar that the media and everybody else has set them at. And I know everybody likes Lamar and how elusive he is, and they want him to be great. And I would love to see his elusiveness pay off and get them to the Super Bowl. But just being a realist and what I see, they're pretenders to me, not because they're not going to get to the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're pretenders because they are not going to get to the Super Bowl. They are not a Super Bowl team.
Gotcha. Okay. For everyone listening at home, this is what happens when you don't pay attention to the instructions of the assignment. The pretender is supposed to be a team that record looks great, but they're actually not that good, and they probably won't make the playoffs. So, to the next one. Darnell, who's your pretender team?
Well, my original team, I got confused. So I went with the original assignment. I went with the original assignment, and they said it was taken. Right? I went with the Rams. Yeah. Right? So I went with a team I thought was going to make it to the playoffs and lose. like Edward did. So, all right, I'm gonna go back to my original, the Rams. Sorry, we're sharing the Rams today. I don't believe in golf. Okay. And defense is straight. I just don't believe in golf. I mean, I hate to keep it so simple and so straightforward.
That's fine, bro.
They had an excellent offense with golf a couple years ago, and they kaput. So I don't see nothing happening this year. Period.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna because we're sharing the Rams, I'm gonna even go deeper into that. I think beyond the limitations of Jared Goff, even though I think he can run the Sean McVay offense, I still think Sean McVay is a genius. I think that he's done some great things with actually stealing some ideas from the Ravens with what he's done, what he's doing with the run game, and his use of motion at the snap. I think there's a lot of great things going on there. They have the highest percentage of any team as far as running the ball in the league right now. So they run the ball more than anybody else, and they play action more than anybody else, and they're very successful in doing it. But they're very successful in doing it and winning versus everybody in the NFC East. I mean, the NFC least. The teams they beat have a combined record of I think 5-18-1. You know what I'm saying? So any team they played that's at 500 or above 500, they've lost to. They lost to the Bills and they lost to the 49ers, who have been struggling lately. And so I think beyond their issues with Jared Goff, they have issues with the way that they have Les Snead has constructed the team. They've paid money to big name players so much, and they have a terrible dead cap situation, and they don't have enough role players or that are good enough that they can fill around the stars, the Jalen's, the Aaron Donalds. They paid Goff like he's a top QB when he's a great product of the Sean McVay system. And so we'll see what happens, but I think also too, this is a little biased for me. The Jags own their first round pick, so I would love for them to be a pretender and to not win any more games, so we can have a couple of top 10 picks. But I still think the jury's out. I don't think that their team is constructed well enough to do well. Also, this is my last thing. I'm gonna let somebody else speak. According to Football Outsiders, their previous schedule before this week, they had the third easiest schedule in the NFL up to this point. Their schedule from here on out is the third hardest from here on out, right? So they looked great versus bad teams. Anybody that was decent, they struggled against, and then they have the third hardest schedule remaining. So we're gonna see what happens with them, but I would say that they're probably not gonna make the playoffs for the second year in a row, and they might be looking for some answers in the offseason.
I'm gonna let Isaac go.
My pretender I have would be the reigning NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. Honestly, man, I just don't see it this year. George Kittle is great. Best tight end in the league. I said what I said. Anybody want to argue me? Fuck you. It's just the facts, man. Go look at the numbers. Go look at them. But outside of George Kittle and the great run game that they have, in addition, to the blocking, just like how Darnell and Coach just don't believe in golf, I have never believed in Jimmy Garoppolo ever. When he had the Super Bowl on the line, I'll bring it back to the overthrow of Emmanuel Sanders. Man, if you're an elite quarterback, how they paying you, you gotta make that throw. Coach in my line. You got to make that throw. Literally, we paying you over $100 million. The game is on the line. Either you a hero or a zero with this throw. Show me right now which one are you. He's open, beat two men. You got to make the throw, man. And I just think that was a microcosm of what was to come. And as you can see now, they've been, I would say inconsistent at best, I mean, we know what the strengths of their team is. It's the, interior, O-line and D-line. They built from the inside out, which every great team, I feel like, should be built like that unless you got a generational talent at the quarterback position, man. But it just goes back to I don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm not a believer at all in Kyle Shanahan. He has been a part of some of the biggest meltdowns. He on his Doc Rivers shit. Hey, God, we're there. No, you're not.
Whoa.
We're getting there. We're getting to the point to where we can cross the finish line, but we're not finishing. You know what I'm saying?
Isaac.
So
Hold on, Isaac, wait. And we're doing great with time and talking, but I need my 2 minutes.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I need my 2 minutes. Isaac, I am on your side, bro. I am on your side.
Okay.
I don't know why in the media or whatever, people have not held him accountable for being a part of these
I don't know why they
meltdowns.
don't do that.
They only praise him for being this quote-unquote genius mind. And guess who is one of those people who never want to hold him accountable but praise him for being this genius mind? He's on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he?
You
don't say.
But Isaac, bro, they never want to hold, like, bro, yeah, okay, you can draw up some plays, but, like, it's been a great play caller or a great play caller about, like, man.
9 passes in the divisional round is not going to get it. It's just not.
Can I top this off? Can I top this off?
Top it off.
Because we haven't.
Christian, look, we made them leave, y'all. We made them leave, y'all. We made them leave.
I gotta drop my little splash in here. I gotta drop my little splash because it's gonna shake shit up real good.
Bro,
because I like where we at.
Okay,
I like where we at.
okay.
So my pretender,
Yes,
hold on,
please.
Christian. My pretender is Arizona. My pretender is Arizona, and there's only one reason, and his name is Russell Wilson. He will not let Kyler Murray take this division, and I don't think that he has enough against the 49ers either. I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh, you talking about the – no, hold on, wait. I got him. I only want 10 seconds. You talking about the same 49ers team that got the fucking shit beat out of their ass early in the year by them? That same team? Okay.
They did not. Hold on.
Okay. I just making sure we on the same page. Yeah.
Okay.
The one that they lost to, the Cardinals.
Christian, you got 2 minutes, bro. You got 2 minutes.
They're not gonna be second for long, bro.
First of all, they did not get walloped in that game. They lost the game. They did not get walloped, right? Jimmy Garoppolo played terrible. They had a chance to win the game in the end. He played terrible.
Don't gloss. Feel free to hang out there. Don't gloss over he played terrible. But go ahead. Feel free to hang out there.
He did. He wanted to put the film on. He did. Second of all, Kyle Shanahan is the greatest offensive mind we have in the game right now. Better than Sean Payton, better than Sean McVay, better than Josh McDaniels, better than Andy Reid. And those are great offensive minds. His offensive mind is so great that he made Matt Ryan an MVP. He solely got the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl and had them up by 25 points and able to towards a win. We can tell.
Let me cut you off real quick.
We can see that.
Stop.
We can see that because once he left, guess what happened to the Falcons? I rest my case there. It's not his job.
Check this here out, though.
It is not his job. It is not his job to play defense. He had his teams up. By 25 with the Falcons. It is not his job to play.
It is your job to manage clock management.
Let me get in. Let me get in real quick. How much were they up by in that Super Bowl? Okay, 25. Okay, so he can't play defense, but you're telling me, I see you, Darnell. He can run
defense, the ball and run the fucking clock out, right?
You're telling me he can't manage a game to use up the clock.
But you can't call him the greatest offensive mind, Christian, if that great mind don't get me mine. And that's a ring.
Listen.
It can't be that great. You gonna be a what if. That shit. If we talking about that, Mike D'Antoni, one of the greatest offensive minds that the NBA has ever seen. And the furthest he's ever been is the conference finals. Yeah, man, he was on some great Phoenix Suns teams, and they had some great offenses. And Steve Nash got 2 MVPs, but he don't have any rings, so you can't be the greatest offensive mind.
Okay,
it doesn't turn into.
To get your MVP though.
All right, let me Let me look this up. First of all, I don't know. It'll take me too long to look it up. I don't know the age of Kyle Shanahan, but I don't even think he's 40 yet. Right? He might, if he's 40, he probably just turned 40. Right? So he has a long time to be coaching in this league. Right? It took Andy Reid a bunch of years. Who a lot of people consider.
So he gonna grow into a better coach. He hasn't reached his ceiling yet.
I don't think he has. Bruh, he's been to the Super Bowl twice. Right?
And lost.
He's carried teams to the Super Bowl. Bruh, to get there is a feat. He has carried teams by his
horseshoes and hand grenades.
Or did John Lynch go out and draft and sign and create a good team through great organizational leadership? And Shanahan reaped the benefits and fruits of that, and was able to capitalize off of what blessing that he's given.
We're not going to call John Lynch the greatest GM of all time.
I didn't call him that.
And say that there's a difference. John Lynch is a good GM. Kyle Shanahan, in the history of football, at least top 3 offensive minds. There's a difference. John Lynch is not elite at what he does.
Before we go forward, I want this on record. You're calling Kyle Shanahan one of the greatest offensive minds in what?
In football. He is up there with Bill Walsh.
You said ever.
Ever.
Hey, write this down. Write this down today.
It's them, bro.
We're recording.
Right,
bro. I need him to write it down. Take a picture. I don't give.
We want to put Mike Marks.
I can't believe this.
Brian Billick, who you want to put Lombardi?
Christian, I'm not even gonna lie to you,
even better than Gary Kubiak.
Yeah, he took Gary Kubiak's offense to a whole nother level. Gary Kubiak doing right now with the Vikings.
Bro, we said we're not gonna talk about Texans. Come on, Christian. We trying, bro. You take it.
I didn't bring he's with the Vikings right now. I didn't bring up the Texans.
By association.
Can we put a bow on
we can put a bow on it.
All right. So look, for the sake of time,
come on, man.
For the sake of time, Sedacious is well, you kind of said Arizona pretend. You pretending. Oh, you already said them. Okay, he already said them. So we got like a solid. We got a solid 15 minutes, and we can go with who we believe to be.
We're going with our contenders. So Sedacious, since you went last, you go first. You're a contender.
Seahawks. Straight up and down. I don't think there's no beating Russell Wilson anymore. That's just where I'm at with it. He finds a way to beat you. He finds a way to win. Or his defense is going to step up. I mean, his defense don't have to step up because he's going to be beating your ass the entire time. They 5-0. I don't see them losing at all.
Then they're going 16-0.
Yeah.
You see him going 16-0?
I see it. I'm looking at this.
You willing to make a wager on that?
I don't. No
team wants that curse.
They're still playing in the NFL. Come on now. They got a bye week and might.
I'm just saying. I just want you to stay on what you're saying.
Oh, hold on. I lied. Never mind. Hold on. I was about to lie about something.
Hey, bro. They got the Cardinals this weekend.
Nobody wants this curse.
I want to see this game because when your team get beat by the team, you want the next team to beat the shit out of your team. The
Seahawks schedule is, we got a good one coming up week 7.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was so happy to see the Cardinals beat the living bucket sleeves off the Cowboys.
So
no disrespect.
The Seahawks, never mind.
The Seahawks remaining schedule is Arizona, San Francisco, the Buffalo Bills, the Los Angeles Rams, Cardinals again, the Eagles, the Giants, the Jets, the Washington football team, the Rams, and San Francisco. I don't know, bro. They're undefeated now, far-fetched. Hearing that schedule. Yeah.
I damn near need to hear it one more time, but I low-key kind of, man. So you think
Arizona, week 7, they're going into a bye or whatever.
That could be a loss. That could be a shootout.
Arizona, San Francisco, Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Rams, the Cardinals again, week 11, week 12, the Eagles, Week 13, the Giants. Week 14, the Jets. Week 15, Washington. Week 16, Los Angeles Rams. And Week 17, San Francisco 49ers.
Niners and Rams, well, that division gonna have to they're gonna have to beat up on each other, which I think will happen. So I don't think they'll beat the Cardinals twice. I believe they'll drop one of those games.
What?
And I also
How?
think the 49ers have a chance if the run game is clicking and Jimmy Garoppolo can make some timely plays as the good game manager that he is. They might get pulled that one out.
Out of all the teams in that division, I say what team has the best defense and the best offense? And the other three teams, I don't see them hanging with them on offense. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I know we saw Kyler Murray shoot up the fucking Dallas Cowboys last night, but DeAndre Hopkins was not effective in that game. I mean, he came and got some shadows. And okay, that's what I'm saying. The defense is going to step up and be able to shut down Larry Fitzgerald and Kurt, whatever that nigga name is.
DeAndre Hopkins is unstoppable.
I see the Seahawks defense shutting them down. Buda Baker won't be enough for Russell Wilson.
He's an all-pro safety. He'll make some plays. He won't
be enough.
He'll fly around. He'll make some plays.
Yeah, Buda Baker's he's pretty good, bro.
He's an all-pro safety. I just want you to know, all-pro is
really
better than Pro Bowl.
He's really good, but he has to get to Russell Wilson. He has to get to Russell Wilson. He has to get to Russell Wilson. Getting to Andy Dalton is one thing. Getting to Russell Wilson is a totally different monster. I don't see it.
Yeah. I mean,
who's up next for contenders?
Buda Baker's pretty good.
Contender, for me, I got that bad man Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I know they just got shellacked, by Tampa Bay. That they did get shellacked. But I believe it still calls to be hopeful for the future. And I say this. If you saw the games leading up to it, Aaron Rodgers arguably had played pretty close to a flawless season up until that point.
I think that was just
I believe his QBR was the highest that it had ever been in the history of the league through the first 4 games. So he was playing at an all-time level with the second year within LaFleur's system. I believe you're starting to see the fruits of that, him starting to flourish. The timing of him and his receivers are really on point this year. And like I said, though they got their ass smacked, by the Bucks. I mean, that's Brady. I think they'll still be in it when it comes to the end of the season, man. They're gonna be right in the thick of things because when you got Aaron Rodgers, man, you're never out of a game. I don't care what you say, you're never out of a game. And with that defense being somewhat improved, even though they got a little bit exposed this past weekend, and with this weekend not being a qualifier, like I said, I do see Green Bay making some noise deep into the playoffs, man. So I think they'll be a team to watch, come late January, for sure.
You don't think their schedule before this week was a little cupcake? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I feel.
I mean, because you got to think their wins are against 1-win Vikings, a 2-win Lions, a 1-win Falcons team that didn't have Julio Jones, and the Saints. They barely won with some questionable PI cards.
It's the NFC though.
It's still the Saints, for one, and what I think the Bucks had going for them initially, they have a run game that could kind of expose that Packers defense, and we've seen that in the past that they don't really play best against the run. Though I like their secondary, and I'm still talking about Green Bay, I believe that's probably one of the second strongest piece of their defense. I believe the first piece would be their D-line. They spent a lot of, high-quality draft picks in the D-line. And, Jair Alexander is a superstar. I believe in him. But I believe they'll be there. And I think it's all because of 2 words. Aaron Rodgers, man. He's shown us that, man. I'm not washed up. I still got some years left. I ain't done by any stretch. So I think, he'll continue to show that throughout the year.
I think he'll win another one.
I believe that, too. Too.
Gotcha. So now, Who's your
I'm
contender?
gonna go with the creme de la creme, man. Go with the creme de la creme Chiefs. They have the biggest target on their back. They have all the attention on them, and I feel like they're ready to step up. They're acting like what's up? Oh, you just denying my allegation. I think they're like in Golden State mode, in my opinion. They may get a couple losses. They don't have an invincible mindset.
Which
They have
Golden
a winning
State?
mindset.
They might be Golden State. I ain't gonna lie. Would you
You know what I'm saying? They have that mindset, like, dude, we're gonna keep playing. If we lose this, we lose that, whatever.
They need to be the right
So-
year. They need to be them KD
Bro,
years.
I said that they were gonna get figured out, and it looks like they are getting figured out, bro.
5-1
I
is pretty
said
figured
that.
out.
Who?
5-1 is pretty figured out.
The Kansas
so
City Chiefs.
How they getting
Yeah,
figured out, nigga? They
5-1 is
5-1.
pretty figured out.
All right, they just played
Yeah,
Buffalo.
that's-
Sorry ass. We'll see.
Wait, hold on, wait. No Buffalo slander. Buffalo is not a sorry team. They have
They're
a
number one
great
in their
defense
conference,
with an
aren't they?
all-pro
The
corner,
division,
showing
right?
some respect. With a decent running back that they picked up, second-year player. Hey, man, I ain't gonna let you just disrespect and roll over Buffalo like that's just
Your
some
boy,
team stuff that, man.
your boy said they put the right pieces around Josh Allen to make Josh Allen look.
They
like,
might
yeah,
win the
yeah,
EFC East if you keep
Nah,
playing.
we seeing the real Josh Allen right now. You know, he ain't shit.
Well, yeah, I
And
mean,
so-
he had 2 bad games. Well, he had his worst game this week, and he didn't play his best against the Titans. But
Oh, we'll see.
I mean,
man.
bro, I mean,
I
Darnell, I would agree with you. You know, the Chiefs are contenders. I mean, they don't play a ridiculous schedule. I think the AFC West, you know, they got they got 4 cupcake games in there with the Chargers and the Broncos. Even though the Chargers play them tough, they always figure out a way to lose it.
And shout out to Justin Herbert, man. He really been balling for the Chargers. Not of late, but
absolutely.
he's been balling. Not in winning efforts, but he's been balling individually.
He has been. So you know, they play the Jags this week, so they'll probably get back in the right shape.
Yeah, Justin Herbert might go for 400 yards.
I don't disagree that they
Like
are
legit,
contenders.
he may go for 400
I agree, Darnell, that they are contenders. What I believe is that somebody will find a way to win that one game that eliminates them. That's the only thing I believe. But I do agree that they are contenders.
Won't be easy. I'll tell you that for damn sure. Like,
Man,
I can't for sure, but it will not be easy. It'll be the one playoff game you do not want to miss.
It won't be.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, man, serious. All right, Edward, go ahead.
My contender is the Bucks, man. I think everybody wrote Tom Brady off. They thought, he's not in that system anymore. He don't got Bill Belichick. Like, he's gonna have some down years, and he's going to the NFC South, where the Saints are. And everybody had. I mean, it's still early or halfway mark or whatever, but like everybody has had the Saints like, that is the Super Bowl team. Everybody needs to keep their eye on, like they're going. But the Saints, they kind of just look kind of pedestrian or like okay. They haven't looked like.
Drew Brees is looking pedestrian. He looking old.
Drew Brees looking like he on the decline.
You know what I'm saying? And so the Saints don't look they don't look like a threat. I think people were like putting their defense up there. Like even though they won 3-2, even though they won games, teams have still put up points on them. And on top of that, at the top of the year, the Bucks beat them. So I'm gonna choose the Bucks. I think they're strong contenders.
Bucks lost to them.
They lost to them.
They got bandages, bro. Yeah. They got bandages everywhere.
Leonard Fournette.
Oh, I was wrong. They beat them. I'm lying. I lied.
He hurt again.
That's my fault.
Leonard Fournette is hurt, huh?
Yeah. Dardell said he couldn't stay on the field.
Ronald Jones, though,
I love him to death.
Ronald Jones is looking like a man, though, bro.
But Leonard Fournette?
There's a reason the Jags got rid of him.
But they got
because they're Jacksonville.
He sound like Dardell.
They got rid of a lot of good people, including Calais Campbell, including Jalen Ramsey, and the list goes on. And mind you, I just named 2 All-Pro players.
But now the Bucks they're 4-2 in the division. I think they're getting better with time. I think Tom Brady is coming more in sync with his guys. I think people they're not writing off the Packers. They're not saying it's a big deal that the Packers lost to the Bucs, but I do think it's a big deal that the Bucs beat them. I feel like that was a good test for them to be like,
That was
all
a
right,
good statement.
where are y'all really at? Like, is Tom Brady really that dude or whatever? And though the defense, though the defense had a big impact on that game, I mean, like, defense is supposed to have a big impact for you, and it damn sure don't help when your defense have a great impact. And you got that man, the God, the GOAT, Tom Brady, on the other side of offense. So I'm gonna pick my contender to be the Bucs. I think don't be surprised if Tom Brady have a LeBron like season and end up in the Super Bowl, man.
All right, so you're saying Tampa's gonna be playing? They're gonna be the first NFL team to play at home in the Super Bowl this year.
That shit would be beautiful. I'm telling you, bro. Look at what kind of year LeBron had. People wouldn't expect what LeBron did. LeBron made records and set records. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Tom Brady had one of those type seasons, man. And y'all be like, shit, man, he won't leave.
But I will tell you like this real quick. If they can stay healthy, they're there, period. If they can find a way to be healthy, they're there.
So we're looking at a Green Bay Seahawks or a Tampa Bay Seahawks or a Tampa Bay Green Bay or a Tampa Bay Seahawks?
Wait, so you just named a lot of teams within the same conference, so I'm going to need you to pick an AFC team.
No.
But he's talking about NFC Championship?
NFC Championship game?
And Green Bay, Tampa Bay, yeah.
Okay,
Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
Right.
Green Bay and Seattle.
Right.
Tampa Bay and Seattle.
Right.
And whatever that last combination was. That's what we're looking at the end of the year.
Possibly, yes. Most likely.
That's going to be fire. Any one of them games will be fire.
Yeah, it'll be nice. I actually would love to see the Bucs defense versus the Seahawks. I really, really like Todd Bowles. I like his defensive philosophy. I like what they're doing on defense there. I love the rookie safety. His name is escaping me, number 31. That they have. I think he is phenomenal. They have a great defensive line.
Can we talk about Minka Fitzpatrick and the Pittsburgh Steelers? They look for real to me. I'm sorry.
They do.
Did they not look for real to y'all?
Who they gonna beat in the AFC?
Who they gonna beat?
They're 5-0 right now. They're beating everybody. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say this real quick.
Check the schedule.
To be honest with you, I don't know how real they are. Okay. I think they're teetering. This is a little bonus for everybody because they weren't anybody's pretender or kid.
Shout out to the Titans too. They 5-0.
It was a toss up for me.
Yeah. So I think an argument can be made that they are pretenders because of who they've beaten, right? They didn't blow out the bad Jets. They pulled away late, but that was kind of a tight game. It was a tight game against the Broncos, who lost their quarterback. It was a tight game against a one-win Texans team, and they finally did. And it was actually a tight game against the Eagles, who have looked very bad. And then they finally destroyed the Browns when Baker decided he wanted to play a ridiculously trashy game. So you can have that argument there for why they are pretenders, but you can have an argument that they are contenders because that defense is nice. That defense is nice. It's one of the best defenses in the league, and they have offensive weapons. They have offensive weapons. They have arguably the best wide receiver core in the league, right? I mean, they have wide receivers out the wazoo, and they are running the football very, very well. James Conner is looking great. Bell is looking, or Benny Snell is looking great. And so, Big Ben, I don't think he's who he once was. So the argument is made on both sides. Yeah. Now, my contender is the Miami Dolphins, the two-time Dolphins. They just announced that Tua is going to be taking the reins.
Christian get done, bro.
Announced that Tua is going to be taking the reins.
You make me do stuff like this.
I dare you, man.
Gonna be taking the reins.
Man, I ain't.
Let me
Dolphins.
Listen. The Miami Dolphins, bruh, they have the fifth easiest schedule coming up. Okay. They got the fifth easiest schedule coming up, right?
We gotta get Christian off these analytics, bro.
Per per ESPN, right, they have one of the best point differentials in the league. Give me a second. Let me get to it.
Is it due to the strength of schedule?
It said it doesn't matter because the rest of their schedule is easy. They had it.
Go to the schedule.
Easier.
Real quick. What's the schedule? Real quick.
I got y'all. Give me a second.
You got them coming out of the AFC East,
hey,
Mr. Contender?
They might win the AFC East.
You want to make a bet right now live?
Listen,
the Dolphins schedule, their remaining schedule, they got a bye week coming up. Then they play out of the bye week 8. They play the Rams, then the Cardinals,
a short week,
then the Chargers, then the Broncos, then the Jets, then the Bengals, the Kansas City, then somebody say W.
I didn't say W versus Kansas City. That says
I was like, all right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all. Week 15, the Patriots. Week 16, the Raiders. Week 17, the Buffalo Bills.
That's 4 losses in a row.
That's probably going to be the game for the division. Listen, every game that they have played, they have been in. The only game that they kind of got drove in was the New England Patriots game, the first game of the year, right? But they still kept it close. Versus the Buffalo Bills, they came back, took the lead in the fourth quarter. The Bills had to come back to win, right?
Oh, so they did lose.
They did lose, but hey, they were a young team. They were still finding themselves.
You
right?
call them contenders, so I'm just being devil's advocate.
I'm going. That's fine. They were still
Okay.
finding themselves, but they were still there in the game. Versus the MVP Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
They lost.
They lost, but they were still in the game in the fourth quarter, right, with a chance to win.
So do contenders win, or do they like?
I'm gonna add something when you get done, Christian.
What I'm saying is, it's a surprise that they're contender. What are you talking about? Hey, versus good teams, they have been right there with a chance with Ryan Fitzpatrick as their quarterback. Right?
Maybe we can just call them a team for the future.
They listen. It might be now.
Familiar.
It might be now. It might be now for them. Right? Brian Flores thinks that it's now. He thinks that, hey, look, we have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks where Tua is going to be our starter, right? We're putting them in. 3-3 is not good enough. Shutting out a bad Jets team is not good enough. Being like, hey, we're 500. We're not the bottom of the league anymore. That's not good enough. We think that we have a chance to make the playoffs, to win this division, to go deep in the playoffs. We have spent the entire first half of our season preparing Tua Tagovailoa to be the quarterback of this team, to lead us to the playoffs. We have everybody else gelling together. We have a good running back in Myles Gaskin. Mike Gesicki is finally playing like he's supposed to be playing. He's playing like he wants to make the Pro Bowl this year. You have receivers on the outside that are doing well, and the defense is finally clicking. The Dolphins might win the AFC East.
Yeah, they're gonna win that. But I don't see the contenders as far as
they're contenders as far as they're going to make the playoffs. They're contenders as far as they might win their division. They're contenders as far as they might make it to the divisional round of the playoffs.
Whoa.
They might make it to the division.
And there you have it, folks.
The wild card. You said they're getting out of the wild card game?
They're gonna win a playoff game.
Give a Florida love infatuation, I noticed.
No, it's not Florida. Yes. I didn't say nothing about Tampa. It's more of my love and admiration for Brian Flores.
Did he come from Miami?
He came from the Patriots.
He came from the Patriots. He played at Boston College. And my mentor Gerald Alexander is the DB coach there. So I have some love for the Dolphins organization. But
that's what this about.
No, it's not about that.
The attention is what I'm wondering. Who pays attention to the Dolphins?
Show some love.
I'm just.
That's
The
understandable.
whole league is
So you got a conflict of interest here. That's what's making it okay.
No, I just understand.
That's what makes it.
Understand great coaching, great organization. Hey, this is an organization that has a black head coach, has a black general manager. This is the organization that's going to start the ripple effect of, oh snap, we got to get ourselves a black head guy, right? Just like everybody McVay did though. We got to get the young offensive minds. Brian Flores and I forgot the GM's name. We got to get a black tandem. That's what they're gonna do, right? Everyone's trying to recreate they're trying to do the copycat league. They're going to be what everybody's gonna copy, right? What they got going on down there.
Or we can just get a good, competent coaching GM. They just so happen to be black. Newsflash, you can be great and be black. I ain't even gonna call it a black thing. Like, if you're a good coach, you're a good coach. You're a good GM, you're a good GM.
I understand that, but hey, listen, I'm a part of sports. I'm a part of football. Sometimes we don't think too deep, right? Sometimes we just think on the surface. Hey, let me get the guy that looks like that. So
true.
Because that happens, right?
Amen.
Even with people who spend hours and hours and hours of watching film and going through details and all that, sometimes we think on the surface. So for those who are thinking on the surface, listen, I'm fine with it, right? If that means that more black men are going to get jobs because of how great these two are going to be, I'm with it. But beyond that, these are two great guys who understand the game of football, who understand how to lead men, who understand how to lead an organization. I think that everything is lining up right for them, right? They don't have a tough schedule coming up. They've handled their decent, almost easy schedule for them to where they're 3-3, and they have, you know, they the games they won blowing teams out, right? So you know, I think, hey, 10 wins at least, yeah, team in the divisional playoff, right?
So we did great with time, fellas. We're getting ready to wrap. One of the things that I do look forward to with the Dolphins, because I believe in his quarterback capability, is Tua, that picture of him going back, sitting out on the field. I hope that turns out to be a very iconic picture for him himself.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, guys. That's all I got, unless y'all want to sign out.
No,
hey man, signing out the intellectual, charismatic, good, excellent, shine hard Izzo. That's Twitter and Instagram, man. Get it. Go, man. Fuck.
All right, I'm gone. I'm Black Peace. I meant to say Black Peace 4L is my Twitter, and everything else is Black Peace. Peace out, Doc Rivers. You got this, y'all. Got this.
Hey, guys, hey, we're fine.
Go.
If we get there, we're fine.
We're fine, y'all. We're fine. We're gonna make it.
There we go. Hey, today is Tuesday, October 20th. We are 2 weeks away from Election Day. If you don't have a plan yet, if you haven't voted and all that stuff, create a plan. If you're going to vote early or absentee ballot, get your ballots in. Get them postmarked in time enough so your vote can count. Let your voice be heard. Go out there and vote.
Y'all know who I am. My mama named me Edward after a great man. My father. I support marriage and Christian wife.
I support marriage.
Who will forever hold him down. That I know to be true. We out,
smoke weed every day.